All right, welcome everyone. It's another time to be at the Growth Factory. I am super excited and I know you are too. Yes, 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 yes. How have you been? How has this year started for you? For me, it's been an amazing year. It's been a time to relook at the things that I do and ask myself some really, really critical questions, right? Life defining questions all through the week when we started the year, we started with the framework we call the order framework, and this is premised on the fact that uh, as a people, we are supposed to create order in our lives. Order makes room for growth. Order makes room for more. Now think about it. Have you tried traveling before? Or you're trying to pack some clothes into a travel bag or even a bag at home, and then you just rush everything together, just rumple them together and put them in a box. How well do they sit in the box? Think about it. How well do they sit in the box? But when you arrange the clothes, they are neatly folded, and then you put them into it one by one. Have you observed that you will be able to accommodate more clothing if you neatly fold and arrange them than when you just put all of them together? The same space, but there is room for more. Why? Because order makes room for more. Order makes room for more. So if you're going to operate in the realm of the billions, you must be able to put order around your life. It's just what it is. It's just very simple. You must be able to put order around your life. So we've looked at the order framework, but today we are looking at how do you operationalize it? How do you implement this order framework? That's what we're talking about today. So before we go, remember that this is the Growth Factory, and our vision here is to build 1,000 billionaires for Africa by 2035. We have a very strong vision burning that through strategic education, structured support, and scalable ecosystems, we will be able to build 1,000 billionaires for Africa by 2035. All right. And that's basically why we're starting by creating order, because you cannot reasonably scale when you don't have order in your life. So we looked at this thing called order, right? And then we looked at the objective, readiness, direction, execution, review. We'll be looking at all of this today. And so now I have a gift for everyone who will be on this call or who will rewatch the rebroadcast, right? So if you watch it, I'm going to give you a template. Now I will be doing a 30 days order, a 30 days order, daily implementation plan. So what we're going to be doing tonight is a general framework on how you can implement this order framework we're talking about. But then I will be sending out a daily message beginning from tomorrow for the next 30 days on how you can operationalize this other thing. And if you follow the messages, I can guarantee you that the next 30 days will be dramatically different from where you are today. Trust me. For those who have been a part of any of my programs, any of the things I have done, you know that this is not just bluffing, right? This is who I am. I am a systems person. I create things naturally. That is just who I am, right? So, and if it's not going to work, then it is not me. I don't do things that don't work. So that's why, in a factory, what do you get in a factory? You get products. You are here for manufacturing, right? So that's basically what you get from here. So if you're watching this, I want to encourage you to join the Growth Factory WhatsApp. So it will be strictly on Growth Factory WhatsApp platform. That's the platform where we'll be sharing the next 30 days. So if you have any of your friends that you think that they should benefit from this, share the link with them, invite them to the WhatsApp community, and then we'll roll from there. Good, 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 good. Right. So one of the things that will happen to you at the end of our conversation tonight is that you will be able to translate this other framework into a 30-day execution plan. So it is the execution plan I will be sharing with you from tomorrow for the next 30 days. So mark that, right? So you'll be able to identify smarter actions, things that you need to do. And I'll be helping you to remove, your bottlenecks. So one of the things that happens to all of us is that we think that this thing is going to be complex. It's not supposed to be complex. It is just you acting. You know what I found out? Doing something, no matter how shabby, is better than not doing anything at all. Because when you start something, even though you did not start well, even though people will call you names like, what is this guy doing? This thing is not perfect. This thing is not excellent. The fact that you have started means that there is room for improvement. So you can start anyhow, but then you make sure that every day is an improvement, and then you keep getting better and better and better. By the time you commit yourself to improvement and you do it consistently for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, people will look at you and they will not be able to recognize you again, because something dramatic would have happened to you. Something dramatic would have changed in your life. And this is what Growth Factory is all about. So you'll be able to remove your administrative bottlenecks, and then you must be able to commit to a visible next action within the next 24 hours. So what are the things you're going to do differently? So remember that this is a factory, right? So my role here is to be a plant manager. I am here to supervise everything we're going to be talking. So I'm going to be leading you to do things, right? So if you're going to get the best out of this, I want to encourage you to get your pen and your book, because you are really going to be doing a lot, right, to help yourself to do the things that you need to do to get better as a person. So remember that. So I'm here to help you to be focused, to remove ambiguity, to push you to decide. And of course, like I said, don't overthink it. As I'll be asking questions, don't overthink it. So this is not just another strategic conversation, right? This is what we're doing today is to manufacture progress. This is factory. So what we want to do is to manufacture progress. That's basically what tonight is all about. It's about how can you turn all of the things we have discussed so far, how can you bring them, into something that you can do. So remember this. This is not another strategic conversation. You put A, B. Today, we are putting our feet down and we are doing the work. That's what we're doing today. We're doing the work today. We're going out there and implementing all the things we have been discussing all the while, right? So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So I want to say this as much as possible. Give me your ears. Don't multitask, because this is all about you. This is not one of the videos you want to watch and then you are trying to do something else. You're not going to get the best from me, right? So as much as possible, take your pen and your book and just see what you can jot down, right? And also remember that decisions beat discussions. For the past 5 weeks, we've been having discussions. So tonight, decide. In this video, I want you to decide that you are going to do something about the things you have heard and that you have been hearing all this while, right? So let's take a quick overview of what we have been discussing on order before we start, breaking it down to the things, what you will do, your action point. Objective. Objective is what matters now. So one of the things you're going to do tonight is to set your most important, your most critical objective, and I'll be guiding you through that. So objective, what matters now, right? So somebody said that there are two things in life. There are things that are urgent and there are things that are important. There are things that are urgent, there are things that are important. And the person said, the things that are urgent are not important, and the things that are important are not urgent. Well, did somebody hear that? There are two things in life, things that are urgent and things that are important. The things that are important are not urgent, and the things that are urgent are not important. So the question you want to ask yourself is, which one are you focusing on? Are you focused on the things that are important, or you are focused on the things that are urgent? Readiness. What can support the objective you are trying to achieve? That is what readiness is about. What do you think you can do right now that can support the objective you are trying to achieve? Direction. What have you chosen? Now, readiness gives you the options. Direction gives you the choice. So you first set your options, which is the readiness. You look at all the things that you have, right? And then in direction, you make a choice. See, you cannot make remarkable, meaningful progress in life if you cannot decide. One of the challenges with many entrepreneurs is that we have so many things on our plate that we cannot decide which one is most important to us. What is that very important activity? What is that very critical deal you must make? What is that critical move you must make, that in making that move, it will make life easier for you. It will make life better for you in making that move, right? So what is that critical move that you need to make? Very important. What is that critical move that you need to make, such that in making that move, it makes other things easy? So you must be able to choose where you want to go, where you want to be, right? In what kind of conversations do you want to be in, around? Very important. Then we look at execution. That is, what are you doing? Choosing is not enough. You must do something. You must be doing something. Like I said earlier, it's well done is better than not done at all, right? And being the fact that you are doing something is better than not even moving at all, because for every action there is a reaction that comes in the universe. The universe will always reward every action. And if you are committed to the process, you will realize that you will be getting better and better, such that if you commit to the process, you do this thing in 1 year or in 2 years, your life will be so much better, so much transformed, that people would begin to see that when people see where you're starting from, they will be amazed at where you are now. Why? Because you have committed yourself to the process. And the very critical review, how are you learning? What is working? What is not working? What can you tweak? What is the data saying? You need to pay attention. So this is a quick recap of what we are here to do today. So remember that if any part is weak, then execution leaks. Weak parts will bet leaking execution. When your parts are weak, your execution will also be weak, because you will be leaking your energy. You will be wasting your resources on things that are not giving you the kind of result that you truly want. So let's go ahead to our objective. Now, very important. Remember what I said earlier. Your objective is that important, that critical goal that you need to achieve. That critical goal that you need to achieve. Very, very important. Now, so I want to ask you a question, right? So, like I said, get your pen and write, and don't overthink. When you are overthinking it, the chances are that what you are writing is not something that applies to you, right? Once you see yourself overthinking, that means you are thinking in another dimension. You are thinking of another thing that probably is really not yours. So now let's look at it together. So why is your objective very important? Why should you pay attention to your objective, right? So Because when your objective is clear, it eliminates vague goals. It eliminates vague goals. The reason many of us are not able, right, to have clear objectives is because we have the ideal and then we remove ourselves from the reality, right? So the ideal is like an horizon. So your ideal could be a Dangote, for example. Your ideal could be Elon Musk, for example. Those are ideals. These guys are big, they are massive. But you look at yourself, right? You were just starting. Maybe you're just doing a little tens of millions or a little hundreds of millions. And then you're looking at these guys and you're like, wow, I want to be like this guy, right? So you realize that if you're looking at the ideal, it will look like you're not doing anything. It will look like you are not achieving anything. It will look like you are not moving at all. Why? Because you are comparing yourself with someone who has gone really far ahead, right? You can set them as a model. You can set them as your standard. Like this is your future, but that cannot be your present. So, what is one critical move you must make in the next 90 days? That if you commit yourself to doing this thing consistently for the next 90 days, would make a tremendous impact in your business, 360 degree turnaround in your business, in your turnover, will make everything easy for you and will help you to know the things that you are supposed to even eliminate. Once you are able to set your objective that this is what I want to achieve, then one of the things that will happen to you is that then you can then pay attention to the things that you should not even focus on at all. Some things should not even bother entering into your radar at all because this objective is locked in your mind, is locked in, so this is one thing you want to achieve. So what is that one objective? I will ask that question again and again until you can answer it, right? And like I said, don't overthink it. Just write whatever comes to your mind, right? Over time, you can review, but for the purpose of this class, just let it just be in your mind, right? So your objective, right? So what is that one objective? That one objective that if you can achieve it, would make your business, will take your business to another realm, maybe times 10 or times 20 or even times 100. What is that one thing that's very critical that you can commit to for the next 30 to 90 days? The next 90 days, I always say this, don't set 1 year goals. You will get tired. 1 year goal is too long. Break it down to 90 days. In fact, what you think you will achieve in 1 year, tell yourself, I'm going to achieve it in the next 90 days and commit to it and see whether this thing is going to work. Very, very critical, very, very important, right? So put it down. What is one objective that you must achieve? And then when you are writing it down, use the acronym SMART, right? Make it specific, make it measurable, make it attainable, make it realistic, right? Make it time bound, make it exciting, make it exact. If it excites you, then you will be able to push yourself. Now, when we talk about being realistic, it doesn't mean that it should be something that you can achieve all by yourself. I say this all the time. If what you are trying to achieve is something you can achieve all by yourself, it is not a dream. In fact, it is not a vision. It is just a normal thing. Let me give you an example, very critical. Let's assume you wake up and you feel like, oh, I'm hungry, right? And you don't need anybody, you don't need any prayer or anything to enter your kitchen and make breakfast, right? It's a given. Just enter. As long as you still have your hands, you still have your body, just enter the kitchen, make your breakfast, and you're good to go. But if you wake up with a burden on your heart that you want to feed a local government of maybe like 100,000 people or even 1,000 people, man, For you to feed 1,000 people, you need other people. You need others. You need to collaborate. You, even if you're going to buy that food, that quantity of food, at least you will reach out to the eatery where you're going to make that kind of order for 1,000 people. Somebody has to go and get the food. How do you want to pack 1,000 plates of food in your car, for example? Somebody needs to. So we begin to think of collaboration. Why? Because it is something bigger than you. So if it is something you can achieve by yourself, I'm sorry, it is not. It may look realistic, but it will not move you towards the billionaire mark we're talking about. So if you're thinking of being a billionaire, it should be something that you need to multiply efforts. That, let me take, for example, one of my own objectives is to have somebody working with me, right? To have somebody working with me. That is one of my key objectives. And why is it important? Because I know that I am a creator, and then I need someone who can do the implementation so that I can focus more on conceiving and implementing, while I allow the person to do their work of, of implementing. That's very critical. So you need to be able to find what works for you. What is that major shift that you need to make that will make your life easier, faster, better, and will make your results to maybe 10x or 20x or 30x or even 100x. So that's very important. So whatever it is you are writing now, is it measurable? Is it owned? Can you own it? Like, yeah, this is something that we are going to do. Is this something you can commit to? If you cannot commit to it, I can assure you that it's not going to deliver the kind of result that you are looking for. Does it move your business in the right direction? Will it stretch you? If it's not stretching you, I'm afraid you are not ready. You are not ready. So for many of us, one of the reasons why it looks like we're stuck is because we are not setting goals that stretch us. Your goal must stretch you. I learned something from John Maxwell's 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. He calls it the law of the rubber band. He said, when you take the rubber band and you stretch it, one of the things that happens is that the rubber band never returns to its original posture, never returns to its original condition. It is stretched, never return. Every time you stretch as a person, you will never go back to who you used to be. Every time you stretch as a person, you will never return to who you used to be. This is very critical in your execution journey. So how well are you doing that? So what is your objective? So let's break down, how do you then execute this objective that we're talking about? How do you execute this objective? So it's important that you are able to turn your goals into executable units. It's important that you are able to turn your goals into executable units, right? So one of the things you want to do is to look at the objective and the action, and look at yourself and say, look, what exactly are the actions I need to take that will make this objective achievable? You've set the objective, very important, but what actions do you need to take that in taking those actions, even without you thinking, even when you lose consciousness of the objective, as long as you pay attention to the actions, then the objective becomes achieved. Let me give you an example. I was having a conversation, with my daughter some weeks back. So she said she wanted to win spelling bee in her school, and all of that. And then I told her something. I said, what do you need to do to win spelling bee? She said, I need to learn new words. I need to know a lot of words and all of that. And then I asked her, I said, so how best do you think you can actually learn new words? And then she said, by reading. I said, yes, just read. Don't worry about whether you're going to win spelling bee or not going to win spelling bee. Just read. Just take a book and thanks goodness I have quite a lot. I have quite a number of books, right? So I said, just take a book and just be reading. As you're reading, you are interfacing with different words, you know. And then she said that, so eventually they did their spelling bee. She won. And I asked her, I said, so what happened? She said there was one word that all the other contestants found very difficult to spell. I said, so how were you able to spell it? She said, I saw it in one of the books that I read. I said, whoa, what did I tell you? Take care of the action and the output will take care of itself. Take care of the action and the output will take care of itself. Bingo, right? So what things must you commit to such that in doing them, the output or the outcome is guaranteed? What are the things that you need to do? So break it down into actions, right? So if you can, what will you be doing weekly? Every week we must do this. For example, you want to increase the rate at which people make inquiries to your business, right? That means you need to increase your marketing, because the more people see what you do, the more they will make inquiries. So that means you must commit to marketing, you must commit to promotion, you must commit to being in the face of people. So when you are in the face of 1,000 people, and then 100 of them, let's say 10% of them, they make inquiries, right? So if you were having, let's say 100 inquiries before, and you want to increase it to 1,000 inquiries, what does that tell you? That means that you must be reaching a minimum of 10,000 people. That's what it means. That's what it means. If your conversion rate is 10%, then if you were doing 1,000 before, then you must be doing 10,000 now. That's what it means. So you must pay attention to your metrics. That helps you. So then you break it down into weekly. So how many weeks in this week, how many people are we going to reach? So let's assume you agree that you're going to reach 10,000 people every week. Then you break it down into a day. If you do a 5 working day thing in your, maybe you do Monday to Friday, and you're going to reach 10,000 people in a day, what does that tell you? In a week, rather. That means that every day you must reach 2,000 people. That's what it means, literally. So what must you do every day to achieve that goal of reaching 2,000 people? That is where the real question is. And you must be able to answer it. I can't answer it for you because you know your business more than I do, but write it down. Write it down. Writing helps to clarify your thought. It helps to clarify your thought, right? So what are the daily actions? What are daily actions? You want to ask yourself, what must happen weekly for this action to succeed? What must happen daily? What must you do daily? What must you do weekly? You need to study the routines of billionaires. These guys are routinely committed to their growth, routinely committed. My mentor shared one story he had with one of his billionaire friends. So he said that what is one principle that has helped you and kept you going all this while? And then the billionaire friend said he remembered an episode that whenever he was in school, that whenever he tells himself that I am going to a place to achieve something, he said he had made up his mind that there will be nothing apart from God himself. There will be nothing that will make me not to achieve what I have said I am going to achieve, or go where I have said I will go. And he gave an example. He said when he was in school, that if he was going from the hostel to the lecture room and it was raining, he said he would enter that rain, walk in the rain, get drenched, but achieve his goal of making the lecture. He said when he's going to a place for an appointment and he looks at the traffic is 4 hours, he said they will factor that 4 hours into his travel time and enter the road. They will factor the 4 hours into his travel time and enter the road, whatever it takes. I have a commitment to be in this place at this time. I must be there. So that is commitment. So what are the things that you must commit yourself to, such that in doing them daily, in doing them weekly, you can be sure that at the end of the month, you will achieve that objective. And at the end of your 90 days, that objective is clear. So break it down into achievable chunks, into bits, into bits, into bits. And before you know it, boom, you're there. So because the rule is this, if you can't fit it into a calendar, that means it's not real. Whatever you cannot break down, chunk down into your calendar every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, you chunk it down. If you can't break it down like that, that means that thing does not exist. It's not real. Like I was sharing at the beginning of today's episode, I had to be somewhere very critical. But I told them I have to go because I have another commitment. Being with you on the Growth Factory is a commitment I have made. And it's not a function of whether it's convenient or not. It's something that I know I had to do, right? So you need to break down your execution. Good. Now, when you break down what you want to do, another thing you should pay attention to is what are the frictions and bottlenecks that you are going to meet. In not making room for this, many people run into trouble, right? If you don't make room for what will likely go wrong, the truth is that when those things happen, you will be shocked at how they can stop you from achieving your goals. So, what are the things that can make failure to happen, that can make you not to achieve your goals? What are the things that can happen? You need to be realistic. It could be that, oh, there's a likelihood that there will be a government policy change that can affect your industry or that can affect your company. What are the policy changes? What are the technological changes? Right? Remember the five forces prescribed by Porter. Right? What are the new entrants into your business? What is the bargaining power of your suppliers? What is the bargaining power of your buyers? Who are the big players already existing in your industry? Right? So, what are the threats of new entrants? If new people come in, can you stand them? If they come in with flexibility, if they come in, because really, if you look at the banking industry, for example, the fintechs are taking over all the space. That's why a lot of the brick and mortar banks are now have turned themselves to fintechs, or they create another company that is fintech. Why? Because the guys just came in and took away all the transactions. They made banking to be seamless. Seamless. You travel for several kilometers to go into a banking hall, and then they keep you waiting for 30 minutes, 1 hour. Now in seconds, you can do your transactions. Seamless, effortless. So what are the frictions that you need to remove, right? What are the things that can make failure happen, right? So you need to get to the point where you are able to kill every constraint. You identify them and you kill them. What are the time bottlenecks? How much time will be required for you to do this thing? If it's taking you 3 hours, can you break it down to 1 hour? If it's taking you 1 hour, can you find a way to do it in 30 minutes? If it's taking you 30 minutes, can you find a way to do it in 15 minutes? So if you keep asking, I'm sure that you will find a way. Trust me, when you ask enough, enough questions, then you will get the right answers that you need. So what are the time bottlenecks? What are the skills gaps? Probably you don't even have the skill for what you are looking for. So are you going to go back to school to acquire the skill, or you will hire somebody who has the skill? Remember that we are talking about 90 days here. So how long will it take you to acquire that skill? The question is, must you be the one doing it? That's a question. So if there's a skills gap, then you hire someone who has the skill, who can deliver the result. Very important. What about your system? Is your system fluid enough to allow people to be able to do what they are supposed to do? Some of us will kill our own businesses by the kind of systems we have set in place. The system is so rigid, is so hard, is so troublesome. The bureaucracy is so high that for a decision to be ratified, it will take days or weeks. But your competition is not sleeping. What is taking you 2, 3 days to decide, another person decides in 10 minutes, some in 5 minutes. The decision is gone. But while you are creating a system that is, making life difficult for you. So you want to answer this. What are you supposed to stop? What are you supposed to simplify? And what kind of support do you need? What are you going to stop? What are you going to simplify? And what kind of support do you need? So one of the things that makes people to fail in terms of execution is when friction is ignored, when the bottlenecks are ignored, when the things that slow the work is ignored. I'll never forget one of one of my friends shared something with me some years back. You know, he said, friend, you know what? You can never grow beyond what your model permits. You can never grow beyond what your model permits. Some of us are running a kind of model in our business and even in our personal lives that hinder growth. You think it's because your employees are not working. It's not because they are not working. It's because the system you have set in motion makes it difficult for people to take decisions. Everything must end on your table. And that takes days and months. And there are some people who don't like going to MD every now and then for decisions. They want autonomy. They want ownership. If people cannot take ownership for your business, they can't move it forward. I'll say that again. If people cannot take ownership for your business, they can't move it forward. So how are you allowing them to take ownership? If you must make all the decisions, I can guarantee you that people will not take ownership for your business. Wow. So are you getting something? Are you getting some value tonight? Like I said, now I'm going to break this thing down. For the next 30 days, I'm going to be with you. Trust me, I'll be, chunking it into, it's like a personal letter for maybe you. So it should be in the growth factory. Trust me, because it's really, really, going to be a great time, together sharing this, some of this stuff, right? So, you want to review your reading Remember, this is a factory, right? So in a factory, you reinstall things to get things done. So what are you going to do that will make what you are doing easier and better? What are your review readings? When are you going to come back to see whether this thing is working? And I will say this, if you're planning for 90 days, that's 3 months, I want to suggest that your review should be every week. Don't wait till the end of 4 weeks. Monthly review is too long. Review every week. You can do it every Monday. You can do it every Friday, the beginning of the work week or the end of the work week, right? I would recommend Friday so that you can plan Monday ahead. You can plan the next Monday, and then you have enough time to marinate over your plan. So you have Saturday and Sunday to think about what you plan to do the next week. So you have time to marinate over it. So Fridays, for me, that's my suggestion. But just do whatever works. It can even be on Tuesday or Wednesday. Do whatever works for you. But this is it. You must have a review reading. You must have a review reading to see whether what you are doing is working or not. Review what you do every day. Is it delivering the results? What changes do you need to make? So you need to ask, yourself. Without review, what happens is that your effort will expire. You are trying to do something that is no longer relevant. That's what it means. When you are trying to do something that is no longer relevant, that is no longer working, you're going to be tired as a person. You're going to be tired. So I've seen a lot of people who are genuinely tired. You are tired. Why? because what you are doing can no longer deliver the result that is required for you to make the necessary shift that you must make. So very critical. So you need to review. That's what review does. It helps you to keep track, right? So we go to the last part of our conversation tonight, and that's your commitment and the activation, your commitment. And I want to say this for everyone on this call, for everyone watching this video, can you make a 24 hours commitment and say, look, this is something I'm going to do about all of these things between now and the next 24 hours? I want to do something. I want to do something. Can you write it down now? Write it down now. This is what I will do out of all the things I have heard. We've done this order framework for the past 5 weeks, right? Can you make a commitment that this is what I'm going to do differently, beginning from tomorrow morning, beginning from right now? This is what I'm going to do differently. Can you write it down? I want you to write it down. I'm going to wait a bit here for you to write it down. Write it in your notepad, in your pen, in your notebook. Write it down. Take your pen, write it down. What are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently? I want you to put it down. Commit and say, I am going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And the second question, what are you going to complete this week? What is one thing you have started that you must complete it this week? Write it down. What is one thing you've started that you must complete it this week? Write it down, write it down, write it down. Remember, I told you this is growth factory. And what happens in a factory? Factory is not a place of hope. Factory is a place where we produce. You don't go to maybe Coca-Cola factory now and say, oh, I hope that there will be Coke today. No. When you enter the factory, you hear the machines moving, boom, boom, boom. There's a place where they wash the machines. After washing, there's a place where they rinse it. After rinsing, then the machine goes into the place where it is filled. After filling, there's a caulking session. What you see is that things are moving in a factory. Things are moving. Things are moving, right? So factories is not hope. Hope is not a strategy. I hope to do this tomorrow. I hope. No, you must commit. Hope is not a strategy, right? So factories don't hope, factories produce. You cannot produce if you don't exert yourself. If you don't commit to the process, you cannot produce. So you are not just planning today. What happens is that we have just installed the system. You may think it is small, but if you listen to these things over and over again and you commit to the process, you will be shocked how far you will go. And like I tell you, momentum starts now. Take a step. It's better you move than to be waiting for a perfect day. Be waiting for a perfect day. When you observe the season, you observe the sun, you observe the wind, you will not sow. Farmers don't say, oh, whether it's going to rain today, it's not going to rain. They just go to the farm. Just do your thing. The weather will take care of itself. You do what you are supposed to do. Take care of what you are supposed to take care of, and every other thing will take care of itself. Very critical. Very, very critical. Very critical. So I want to believe that that you have learned one or two things today, and this is order in motion, right? So it's a recap of all the things we have done so far in the order framework: the objective, your readiness, your direction, execution, and your review, right? So I want us to take steps on these things. And like I said, I'm going to commit myself to a 30 days plan, and then it will be like a continuation of all these things we have said. Of course, we're going to move to something else by next week, by by God's grace. Yeah, by God's grace. Yeah, we're going to move into something else very critical. I'm going to announce it in the course of the week so that I can prepare for it. So because you must take your business to the next level. After you've created order, how do you structure your business for growth? How do you structure your business for growth? Order is now talking about what you will do, but then can the structure you have right now, can it sustain what you are trying to achieve? So we're going to talk more about this in the coming weeks, right? So that will be all from me tonight. I want to believe that somebody has learned something, right? Let me know what jumped at you in the course of our conversation tonight. Let me know what jumped at you. So I like the energy, I like the feedback, right? So what jumped at you, what jumped at was a big take home for you. Remember that you still have access to my family mentoring program, very critical, very important, right? So the strategic marriage, you want to have a good relationship, but you don't like the third party. You don't like somebody interfering in your conversations with your spouse. It's just the two of you, but you need tools. You need tools on communication. You need tools on sex. You need tools on finance. You need tools on managing relationships. You need tools on planning your family, but you don't want any interference from anybody. It's just you and your spouse. You want to solve it by yourself. You are that DIY person. You like to do things all by yourself. Then you should get the strategic marriage. I'm telling you, it's going to revolutionize how you think about marriage and what you do as a couple. You don't need any party. Everything is done for you. Everything is done for you. Very powerful, right? But if you are thinking that you like working with families and that you're thinking that, oh, maybe I can even know how to use this tool. So not only can you do it for yourself, but you want to know how to use it for other people, then take the coaching line, and let's see what we can do together, right? So I'm going to coach you on how to be a strategic family coach. And then not only will you be making money, you also not only will you be able to help your own family, they you can also make money by helping other families. So I'm going to be sharing the link with us. That is on seller.co. So please take advantage of that too, right? So quickly, before we go tonight, what's the biggest takeaway for you from tonight's conversation? What's the biggest takeaway? Anybody wants to share? The room is open. We actually started a bit behind, so I should be shutting down in the next 2-3 minutes thereabout. But let me just take one or two contributions from our session tonight. What is one thing you're taking away, and what is that thing you are doing in the next 24 hours? Somebody wants to share. What are you doing in the next 24 hours? What are you doing in the next 24 hours according to what we have said? What are you doing in the next 24 hours? Who is going to share with us tonight? Yeah, we have quite a number of persons on the call tonight. So who's going to share with us? What are you doing in the next 24 hours? What are you doing differently? Right, all right, all right. Somebody wants to share. Dio, Steven, Babs, Uche. Somebody wants to share with us. Okay, Uche.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, who is talking? I know Uche raised her hand. Who else? Okay, Steven. Uh, okay, since you're muted already, go ahead. Sorry, Uche. Steve, please go ahead.
Yeah. I think for me, that readiness and execution, because I think some of these questions, it has been for the objectives. I think before now, at least, I've been asking some of my those primary questions from when we started. But
Hello.
especially now that we've streamlined it to 90 days. Within these 90 days, I've asked. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now. It's better now.
Can you hear me?
It's better now. Please shoot. Please shoot. It's better now.
Okay, thank you. I say yes. My readiness and the execution, I think that is where I have started. Yes. So my take home pay for now is that day to day breaking this 90 days for me, breaking it to that 3 months, weekly and that daily. And I think from tonight, that is tomorrow, I will now break it by bit such that a day doesn't go without me doing one thing that will lead me to the 19 days objective. For me, that is the take home pick for me for tonight. Thank you, sir.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That thing is very powerful. Every day, commitment every day. The difference between those who break even and those who break up who break down is commitment every day. Whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, just show up and do what must be necessary, what is necessary rather. And like I shared, that if you do the action, the result will take care of itself. Many of us focus on the results, but we don't focus on the action that will produce the result. But if you focus on the action, the result will take care of itself, right? So thank you so much for sharing. Uche, do you still want to share?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Uche, the network is crumbling. Hello? The network is crumbling. I could hardly pick any word. Do you mind exiting and trying to join back? Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Try to exit the call and join back. Let's see if that works. The network was scrambling. I could hardly pick anything. Did you hear me, Uche? Can you try talking now? Let's see if it's better now. Hello? All right, so somebody shared in the comments, it said, I enjoy every part of meeting. I will have to concentrate on my visibility to get more potential clients. And I know I can't do it alone. I need professionals to help me with this, and I'll put them on target. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is a good one, right? So, because we need to be sincere with ourselves, where you have your weakness, what are you going to do about it? Because really, to scale, you need to collaborate with other people. You can't do it all by yourself. That's very critical, very critical. I missed your point, Uche. I don't know if you can still hear me. If it's possible, can you drop your thoughts in the comments? I'll gladly take it. I'd gladly take it. So I want to say thank you, everyone. Remember, if you have not joined the Growth Factory, just go to bit.ly/100x_growth. That's the link to the Growth Factory. And please subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Very critical. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Subscribe, very critical, right? So Bob said I joined quite late, but my immediate 24 hours plan is to work on the site. I have started working. Interestingly, I'm also reworking my site. I'll be sharing with you. I'll be unveiling the new look, the new brand, and everything before the month runs out. Definitely, it's going to be totally different from what it has always been. Trust me, right? So, that's a good one. So please, if you've not subscribed, subscribe to Boardroom NG. That's YouTube. That's these are boardroom level conversations we're having here, right? So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who made it live. And for those who are going to catch up with the replay, I say a big thank you to you. Thank you for believing in the Growth Factory, for believing in the DAB brand. There are quite a number of things that are coming up, in the course of this month and into March. So I'll be unveiling them as as we go. So remember, I believe in you, and you are getting bigger and better, and the billionaire in you is unraveling. Woo! I'm rooting for you. I am your billionaire coach, DAB. It's time to sign out. God bless you. Bye-bye. Wow. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your day.